Greetings, everybody. It's Patty here from the Natural News Blogs. Hitler's legacy continues. Now, this article is very lengthy, and I don't have enough time to read it all, so I'm just going to, see what I mean? I can't read it all in 15 minutes. I'm just going to read the beginning, because that's the most important part. Okay. Hitler's legacy continues. Posted today, March 17th, 2017. We know that Hitler back in World War II implemented the eugenics or population reduction program. When he died, everyone in the world was happy, and it was business as usual. But what we didn't know was that this plan never died with Hitler. It just was kept in the closet. Okay, let's see. On March 20th, 1969, Dr. Richard Day, the National Medical Director of the Rockefeller-sponsored Planned Parenthood Program and Professor of Pediatrics at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York, spoke before a group of students and health professionals at the Pittsburgh Pediatric Society. Dr. Day, an atheist and a eugenics advocate, was aware of the secret agenda hidden in the closet within organized medicine to reduce the world's population. Despite this being a closely guarded secret or conspiracy, it was time to open the closet door, whereby Day said, "Everything is in place, and nobody can stop us now." Well, that's the truth. So, not too long ago, the Pope and many of the people in the Haves group preached about how essential it is to greatly reduce the population. Unfortunately, all they are doing is expounding upon Hitler's plan, which was revealed roughly 5 decades ago. Despite Hitler losing the war, the Rockefellers, Prescott Bush, I.G. Farben, and other haves, including Monsanto, decided to push forward with emphasis and implementation of the following: population control, permission to have babies, redirecting the purpose of sex to have sex without reproduction, and reproduction without sex, contraception universally available to all, sex education and to direct the youth as a tool of world government, tax-funded abortion to ease population control, encouraging homosexuality and introducing it in elementary schools. How disgusting. This is just horrifying. Boy, really a bad time to be a child or a female. You know. Let's see. Technology created for reproduction without sex. I'd like to know how they do that. Families to diminish in importance, euthanasia and the demise pill, limiting access to affordable medical care, making the elimination of the elderly easier, medicine would be tightly controlled, elimination of private doctors, new difficult to diagnose and untreatable diseases, suppressing cancer cures as a means of population control, inducing heart attacks as a form of assassination, education as a tool for accelerating the onset of puberty and evolution, blending all religions into one and eliminating old religions, changing the teaching of the Bible through revisions of keywords, restructuring education as a tool of indoctrination, have kids spend more time in schools but learning less, controlling who has access to information, making schools the hub of the community, having books disappear from libraries, a long list, changing laws to promote moral and social chaos, encouraging drug use to create a jungle atmosphere in cities and towns, promoting alcohol abuse. Nice people, huh? Restrictions on travel. Ooh. Kind of sounds what Trump tried to do, huh? The need for more jails and using hospitals as jails. No more psychological or physical security. Crime used to manage society. Curtailment of the U.S. industrial preeminence. Shifting populations and economies and tearing out social roots. Sports as a tool of social engineering and change. Sex and violence being accepted through entertainment. You should see me, I'm shaking my head. I don't have my camera up, sorry. Sex and violence being accepted through entertainment, travel restrictions, and implanted ID cards. Oh, that's the RFID chips. Yes, okay. Know how people respond and make them do what you want. Falsified scientific research, and the use of terrorism. Surveillance implants and televisions that watch you. Home ownership, a thing of the past. The arrival of a totalitarian global system. If you look at what's happening today with government, food choices, the pharmaceutical industry, and Monsanto, you can see many of the issues Dr. Day spoke about coming into play. When discussing cancer cures, they talked about numerous cancer cures sitting at the Rockefeller Institute, which is true, you guys. They do have these cures for cancers. They have it. Hitler's doctor, discovered the cure for cancer. So, I guess the cure for cancer was in the closet with the rest of the plan. Let's see. Okay. When discussing cancer cures, they talked about numerous cancer cures sitting at the Rockefeller Institute and withheld from the public and the medical profession. While Dr. Day spoke about this, he also said, "You will forget most or much of what I'm going to tell you tonight." Why would they forget? Do you think a huge sumptuous meal and unlimited alcohol would have anything to do with that? Even then, people were dumbed down. When talking about changing the image of the doctor, it was to turn them into a high-paid technician, rather than a professional who exercises independent judgment on behalf of his independent patient. Looking at today's physician, for the most part you see a hooker for the big pharma pimp, treating a symptom endlessly with toxic synthetic chemicals instead of trying to dig for the cure. And what does this lifetime of filling the body with endless toxic chemicals do? It shortens the lifespan. Then they compared the Americans to the Europeans and said that the Americans were too trusting. I don't know. I think we're just too stupid. I think Americans want to trust, but they're putting their trust in the wrong place. And we never asked the right questions. While the Europeans were more skeptical and more sophisticated, the Americans had a lack of discernment and were easily tricked because they were too trusting. In other words, if you want someone to do something and you know that initially they might balk at it because it's against his morals or religious beliefs, you would have to substitute another reason that will be acceptable. And then, after he accepts it, it will be a done deal, and there would be no turning back. Alright. In this vein, look how quickly so-called AIDS education was introduced and ultimately accepted. If a group wanted to introduce the concept of sodomy or initiate sex earlier and earlier in children, and that was the reason given, most parents would not go for it. So, you changed the reason, and it's accepted. And the new reason was to protect the children from AIDS. So now, that education is available from kindergarten to 12th grade. But it is a great boon to the homosexual network because they now have access to the kids from their earliest years. Wow. You see, the emphasis on youth was stated explicitly because people beyond a certain age are set in their ways, and they are not likely to change or discard their values. But the little kids are pliable and can be molded in any direction you want to point them in. So you target the young. They'll be around a lot longer than the old fogies that will be dying off anyway. Well, I guess I'll die an old fogey. So anyways, I'm gonna cut it here. I think the point has been made. I'm gonna post the link, so if you want to continue reading this, I suggest you do so. It's very informative. Alright guys, stay safe, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.